Woo! All right. Guys, today my guest is a true artist. I'm not talking about, we're not just going to learn about his dance history, but we're going to learn about his music career, the good and the bad, the lessons he's learned, the stories that he could share with us. And out of Sacramento, California, this brother's not only a dancer, a choreographer, a teacher, he's also a DJ, MC, music producer, video producer, host of World of Dance. I'm talking about my brother, Brandon Knowbody Greathouse. How you doing, bro? Welcome to the show.
What's up? I'm doing good.
Man, cool. Hey, before we dig in, all right, I want to show a little clip, and I want you to talk it over. I have to mute it just for the copyright protection stuff, but let's see here. Do you see this right now?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
What was this? When was this? Tell me about it.
This is, I don't know the date of this. This is World of Dance. I think it looks like maybe World Finals.
It says World of Dance Dallas. Remember the Dallas one?
Dallas.
All right.
Woo.
What did they have you do? Are you judging there?
I was the host.
Okay.
For the battle side. So I'm hosting all the battles.
Okay.
At the end of the night when they do the headliners, I get to go showcase. So.
You get down, baby. And this was 2 years ago, so you know you got better.
Oh yeah.
Sick, baby, sick. All right. Again, this is just to show off, my boy here. He's got mad talent, but not only that, the introduction says it all. But now I wanna dig deep. Let's start from the beginning. All right.
Yes.
When did you get started with dancing? How did you get started? Who influenced you? And I know that you're out of Sacramento. Was that where you grew up?
I was born in Stockton, but I grew up in Sac. So I guess my dance started like everybody else, seeing somebody get down and just doing stuff.
Yeah.
I used to go to this church called Calvary Christian Center, and my mom was actually working at the church doing media and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm there, and we chilling. They had this crew from Hawaii called the Hawaiian Posse that came, and they were doing their thing. And this dude jumped out. I remember he had the sides were shaved. He had the flat top, but it didn't go up. It just went out. And he hit swipe 90. And I lost my mind. I was like, what was that?
You remember how old you were?
I think I was probably 12.
Okay. And this is out of Sacramento.
Yep.
So when you're in Stockton, were there anybody there that influenced you when you were there, or did you move to Sacramento when you're really young?
I grew up in Stockton. And I live with my grandmother on my mom's side. Yeah. And then my grandfather on my dad's side, we would go to his house for the weekends because we would go to church. And my grandfather had a church out there. He still does. This church has been passed on to my brother, but it's still my grandfather's church. The one he literally built it by hand, like nails, stucco, everything, and it's still standing. So we would go there, and then I'd watch all the people on the instruments. So my dad would be on the drums. And then my aunt would be on the organ, and then my uncle would be on the guitar. And then when the next song goes, they'd all rotate.
What?
And then they'd all rotate. And I'm watching this like as a kid, like this is tight. So I fell in love with music on that side.
I see.
And then when I moved to Sac, it was like I got exposed to that posse.
Yeah.
And when I seen that, it was lights out. I after that swipe 90,
yeah,
I practice every single day from then on.
Wow. Okay, so this is really important because I'm sure somebody out there probably seen a video or somebody in person or something doing some amazing stuff, right? Now you just said you practiced it after you seen it. Of course, it's like you have to have the strength, you got to have the determination. What kept you going? Did you have like mats at home? How did you do it?
I didn't know any better, so I was like, I want to do that. And because I couldn't do the swipe 90, and we didn't have video cameras or videotapes to go rewind and figure it out,
Right.
I just went, and because I couldn't do that, I learned Broncos. Then I learned dolphin dives. Then I learned Russian kicks, and that's where I started. And I was like, yeah, I'm tight. And then these two young guys, when I think I did that for years. I did a bunch of old school hip hop stuff, and then when I got into junior high, there was these two kids, Marcus and Tony. B-boy Marks, fire. Tony was ridiculously fire. So we're 7th grade, and this 5th and 6th grader come up to our school after school and was like, hey, you guys break? I got Broncos, dolphin dive, and a Russian kick. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, we break, and it's all of us.
Yeah.
They smoked the Jesus out of us. So, but them smoking us made us all look at each other like, it'll never happen again. And we literally practice. In the morning, we'd run to school early, practice. Lunchtime, we'd be practicing. After school, we'd be practicing. And we just got it in, like, just because we wanted to be dope.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, I mean, that must have been a humbling experience, because I think, you know, at that age, when you're in middle school and then a elementary school kid kind of called you out and smoked you, that probably set, you know, lit fire beneath you, and you're just like, this will never happen again. I could totally imagine that.
Yeah. So with that, later on, I
Yo, what's up, brother Randy? Yeah, he jumped in.
Randy? Like, which one?
Yeah, that's which one, baby.
What's popping?
Yeah.
So yeah, but that battle showed me that there was way more than Broncos and Russian kicks, because Marcus came out hitting flare, crickets. They was doing crab spins or what they call turtles or whatever you want to call them. They was hitting all kind of stuff that I've never seen before. And after that, we just had to go.
Wow. Okay. So those kids, I mean, are they somebody that still dance now, or they were just breakers at that time?
I don't know what happened to Tony, but Marcus went on to be a part of Flexible Flav, and I ended up working with him and learning from him like for years after that. He's like one of my best friends. So it's like is weird because all the people that I started off breaking with, like hardcore, are all now like top 10 in the world type B-boys. Like, there was a time where they won world championships. Like, and I'm like, wow, these are my friends from Sac.
Yeah. So all right. So let's carry forward. So from there, who'd you hook up with, and you know, how did that happen and all that stuff?
From there, I just started getting it in, breaking a lot, and there was a small group that we started after seeing that Hawaiian posse dance called the Posse, and we're in there doing it, and there was like these 4 guys that were really dope. And everybody wants to be a part of their group, and they broke off and started their own group. And I was like, I don't care. I'm just dancing. So I'm in there doing my thing. I'm breaking every day. And one day they approached me, was like, hey, you want to be part of the group? I was like, me? All these dudes out here that's hella tight, you asking me?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So I went, and I was their dancer. They were rapping and traveling and doing stuff. I came in as a dancer. So I'm dancing. This is probably 96.
Okay.
Yeah, 96, 97. Like end of 96, early 97. I'm dancing for them. I'm doing all these routines.
Yeah.
And I got tired of dancing because I go to the show and they're murdering on the rhymes, and I come in and do my dance stuff and break a little bit. And I'm like, man, I want to rap.
Wait. Were you the only one that was dancing and everybody was just rapping?
Yep.
All right.
Oh, they were all dancing too. Like they could do choreography, but I was breaking. Dancing,
I see.
I was popping, and I was like, but all 4 of them was rapping. I was like, yo, I want to rap. And the guy at the time, my boy Key, he was like, write something. He didn't tell me he was writing everybody's rhymes. He just told me to write something. I was like, okay. So I spent like 4 hours writing this rhyme.
Right.
And then I get in there and I spit it for him. He's like, okay, well, come on. And then he made me a beat. And I sat there and practiced it. And then the next like show, I got to rock. And it's on ever since.
Wow, that's dope, man. That's dope. Now, look, Randy just dropped some knowledge right there. I'm going to read it. It says, Joe Larot, brought Brandon to a Mind Tricks Christmas party at Lexus back in the Bay. So,
Yeah.
do you remember that? And tell me about that, man.
The Mind Tricks reunion party, is that what it was?
It was just a Christmas party back in Lexus place. I believe that it's in
It was in
Gilroy
a
at that
garage,
time.
right? It was in somebody's garage.
It was a garage. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
always a garage.
That was when I first got a MacBook Pro, and I set that junk up and I recorded the whole thing because it was so fire. Like I had a good 12 hours of video.
Oh, you got the footage.
I'm pretty sure I can find it on an old hard drive.
All right, because last time I was talking to Jeff, and we were just talking about how, we used to have these parties and we have in the garage, and it was stuffy, and we just wishing somebody had some footages, and you're just like, oh, so maybe we gotta check.
I'll search for it because if I have that junk, please believe I'll give it to you.
Okay, yeah, yeah. That's what Randy's saying. Dude, send the footage too, because yeah, I do remember. Lex always had the party in his garage. This was down in Gilroy. So if you remember coming down. So actually, let's back up just a little bit. Joe, for those that don't know, Joe Larot, Jabberwocky, original member. So tell me how you hooked up with Joe in the first place.
After all of that stuff with format, my sister was on Boogie Monsters.
Okay.
Bill Tyag's group.
Okay.
And she was like, "You need to come dance with us." And I was like, "Choreography's whack."
Wait, hold on. So your sister danced, and she was in Boogie Monsters.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay, this is the older sister.
My older sister, Enrica Greathouse. So she's dope.
All right.
And she could kill choreography. I didn't really like choreography because I'm a b-boy. I'm spinning. I ain't trying to 1 and 2. Yeah. That's what my mentality was.
Right.
So she invited me to one of the rehearsals, and I remember sitting outside like, this is whack, because it was a regular class before theirs. And
you remember how old you were at the time?
I think I had just turned like 20, 21.
Okay.
And I was just watching, and I was, this is whack. Why do I want to do this? And then she's like, no, not this class, the next one.
Oh, okay.
And then Phil came in, and Joe came in, and I was watching. I didn't want to go into classes. I'm like, I don't do choreography. So I'm sitting at the window and I'm watching, and I remember thinking, their level of control is ridiculous. If I can add their control with what I do, I'll be unstoppable.
Right. Okay.
And I came into a couple of rehearsals for about 6 months, and then they had auditions. And I was like, ooh, here we go. There was like 80 people that auditioned.
Yeah.
And I got in there, got the first 8 count, and then I fell apart. And I was like, oh, well. Start hitting, did a couple windmills, some crickets, got up, did some popping stuff. And I did not do the choreography at all. I got 1 8 count of the 4. And then they took 3 people, and I was one of the 3.
Oh, wow. Wait. You're saying 80 people auditioned, but they took 3.
Yes.
And you only did 1 8 count of the first choreography. They must have really liked your freestyle.
Well, Phil said he saw something in me that he thinks he can make dope.
I see.
I was like, he gave me the shot, so I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
And for the next 6 months, I was the worst person at the choreography ever. Like, it'd be like 1 and 2. But I think the best part about that is I got to build a good relationship with Joe.
Yeah.
And me and Joe would talk. After rehearsal, we would go play Halo, and I just ask him all the questions like, hey, why did y'all do this? What was the point of this? He was like, what was this? And Joe was lacing me with so much knowledge, it was ridiculous. That my physical body couldn't do what my brain was understanding. Because he was giving me so much.
Yeah.
I was getting the understanding, and physically I couldn't do it yet.
Yeah.
But that understanding is everything, because now that understanding has me running the dance studio. I've been teaching dance since 2004 off of understanding that he gave me.
Yeah.
So,
man, that's empowering, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. So while you were doing that, were you still rapping at the same time?
Actually, I was traveling, rapping. So that time between me joining Boogie Monsters and me being with that group, we traveled pretty much 2 to 3 times a week doing shows.
Wow. Okay.
So we'd hit all of the West Coast. We'd hit like the Bay Area. I think, and then that group broke up.
Okay.
Wait.
What group? The rapping group.
The rapping group. They were called Format.
Okay.
So they ended up breaking up, and I was still doing stuff with one of the members, and then another member. We'd mess around because I was still cool with everybody, but it was really hard because we got the opportunity to get signed by Universal Records.
Wow.
And we didn't like our manager at the time because she had done some shady business stuff. So we were like, nah, we ain't going. They wanted us to move to Arizona for 6 months to record an album.
Okay.
And I'm like, why can't we just do what we already doing and just put it out? It's like, you go to their studio and basically run up a bill to be their slaves. And I was like, nah, I don't want to do it. But I was down as the team was down. But one of the guys was like, I just had a baby. I'm not leaving my wife here by herself. No.
Yeah. Now, that's really smart. I kind of wanted you to state that again, just because I think it's probably something that goes on quite a lot when you have shady people that trying to manage you and stuff. So you immediately kind of smell something different. So you kind of said no, right?
Well,
what was it? What was it about it?
Huh?
What was it about it that you're like, yo, these are shady people?
Well, the manager was doing whatever she could to get us signed.
Okay.
So we didn't have the money, but she was booking stuff like we had the money. Like we got China, who was like one of the top designers at the time, to come and do our wardrobe and to do photo shoots for us. And then she got like Bryce Vicks, who was Ashanti's choreographer, to come do choreography for us. Didn't have the budget to cover it.
Right.
So
I mean, that money, where's that money supposed to come from?
So I guess she thought in her head that once we get on, we'll have the money to pay everybody back. It will be all right. So she was gambling, but it was on our name.
Yeah.
So it's like that. She got us the deal. That was the deal. It was like she got it. We got it. But when they were like, you have to go to Arizona, it'll be a 10-year contract. You got to go to live.
10 year?
10 years.
Wow.
So you gotta everything we and that's right when the 360 deal started.
What's the 360 deal?
A 360 deal is where they take money from every part of your thing. So if you make money like on tour, they're taking a piece of that. If you're selling merch, they're taking a piece of that. If your records come out, they're taking a piece of everything. So if I go work at McDonald's, they can take a piece of that too.
What?
Because they own my name and my likeness.
Wow.
So shout out to 360s for being trash. Don't ever sign it.
Wow. That sounds kind of like the stuff that you hear with NSYNC and that kind of like that. Am I right?
Exactly the same thing. A record deal was getting everybody, big or small.
Yeah. Randy said, sign your life away, man.
Yeah. So luckily for my boy Conte, he didn't want to do it, and he saved all of us. Because right after we didn't do it, we lost the record deal. The group broke up. Everybody was mad at each other.
Right.
But the internet hit right after.
Okay.
And it was like when the MP3s dropped.
Yeah.
Nobody was making money in the record industry.
Right. So it was a blessing in disguise.
Yep. And then I remember about 10 years later, we had a barbecue, and I was like, "Hey, y'all want to sign a record deal?" They're like, "Oh, shut up." And I was laughing, but I was like, if we would have signed that deal, it'd be right now that we're getting out of that contract.
Right.
So all the music we made during that time, they would own.
They would own. Right. Wow. Smart. All right. So while that's happening, though, your dancing just kept accelerating. So tell me how that happened.
Well, I was dancing, just going for it, because for me, I wasn't dancing to be famous. I was dancing because I loved it.
Yeah.
I didn't care if nobody watched me. I was in the bathroom like, somebody gonna get this work.
Yeah.
And then when I got a chance to come out, I spent so much time just working on waves and hitting and like stopping that when I got to battles, it was go time. Yeah. And I had a lot of fun. And then I started training with Joe and Phil. Yeah. And learning the way of that movement type, the beat manipulation. Yeah. Jeet Kune Do.
Yeah.
So And it was dope because they would pass me the knowledge from like Super Dave and for Kevin and from Fee and from whoever else they was learning. It was like, hey, this is what this guy taught me. Like, yo, these W's, like, yo, use that. Or like everything has a yin and yang. If you want to make something look fast, you got to go slow and then speed it up. That type of knowledge, just imagine we go rehearsal from 9 to about 2.
Yeah.
And then from 2 until about 5 in the morning, we're playing Halo, getting knowledge dumped on me. Like, so it's like.
Is that every night?
Pretty, not every night, but at least 3 nights a week.
Okay.
Like me and Joe were like, every time we seen him, I was with him.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, was this before Jabberwockies got big?
Yes.
Or during?
This is before they got big. Like,
okay.
I remember some stuff happened and Joe was gonna quit dance. Like, no, bro, you can't quit, bro. You can't. Like, because personally, I wanted to learn from him more.
Right.
And it was like, well, I got you because I got to handle life stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, what if I could show you a way to make a lot of money without quitting?
Yeah.
He's like, if you can do it, let's do it.
Yeah.
So we threw an audition for this group called Press Play.
Okay.
And we had 100 people show up. And we took 72.
Wow.
And they were paying $90 a head. I looked at Joe and was like, yo, you still want to quit? It's like, no.
That was awesome. So Press Play was something that you came up with then?
Yeah, it was my idea, but there was no way I could do it on my own because my skills weren't there yet.
Okay. All right.
But there was so many people in the scene that could benefit from the knowledge Joe had.
Right.
Him quitting just wasn't something I was going to let happen.
Man, that's mad knowledge right there. I just kind of got to pause for a second. So for all the, the hip hop heads out there, especially in California, now you guys know where Press Play came from because you guys enter a lot of competition too. So Press Play is a name that people should recognize, and right there, man, you guys know now it came from Brandon right here with conversation with Joe. So you guys, thank you for that, bro. Well, now, what year was that?
That was maybe 2004, 2005.
Okay.
But it started off as a training group for Boogie Monsters.
Ah, okay. So it's like did it have an age limit?
Not really. We just wanted to, because Boogie Monsters was so elite. Like we had 82 people or 70 some people audition and only 3 people made it.
Right. So
there was a buttload of dancers with nowhere to go.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was like, well, we can start a training group to get people good enough to get in Boogie. Then we'll be straight. So we started the training group, and when it was time to start pushing people into Boogie, they were like, we don't want to be Boogie Monster. We just want to be us.
Yeah.
And it kind of just broke off and did its own thing.
Man, that's beautiful. Now, I'm gonna ask you something. I don't know if you can share it, but I'd like you to try. When you're auditioning people, right? So I'm assuming you and Joe, maybe, I don't know if there's somebody else. What do you look for? What are the things that, this is, I'm speaking because there's probably a lot of people out there that are beginning and they're probably, hey, maybe there's a group that they want to audition for, or maybe they're even thinking about starting a group themselves. But in the situation where they're actually auditioning for a group, if let's say somebody's auditioning for Press Play right now or back in 2004, what do you look for?
For me personally, I'm different than a lot of people. A lot of groups audition for the talent and the showmanship and everything so that they can get right to work. I was the underdog. I was the worst person in Boogie Monster for 6 months. So when I see somebody at audition, I'm looking for their work ethic. Are they willing to put in the time? Are they do they have a little potential to start with? Yeah. And are they moldable?
Yeah.
Because if they're moldable, then I can, dance is repetition.
Yeah.
If you're willing to put in the time, you can learn any part of the dance, any level, and that's it. But the time, the work ethic is everything.
I absolutely agree. And I think if I could kind of just restate what you're saying, it's almost like You're looking for the guy who's the most hungry, right? You don't
Yeah,
really care if, just as you did, like, you messed up after the first 8 count, and in your mind, you really don't care like if this person can memorize choreography. But if you see that hunger in that cat's eyes or whatever it is,
that's it.
that's the one you want. Is that right?
Yep. Because there's something about somebody who's willing to put in the work.
Yeah.
Choreography, if you drill it 1,000 times, it'll be clean and it'll become second nature.
Yeah.
But you have to drill it 1,000 times. If you're not willing to do that,
That's
it
right.
doesn't matter how good you are, it's not going to be perfect.
That's right. That's right. And I'm going to share real quick though, with being in this industry, or being part of all these groups. Of course, I've seen auditions and judges and stuff like that, and oftentimes you'll see people either on auditions for teams or audition for shows or whatever. They get discouraged. When they get discouraged, there's that look of defeat in their eye.
Yeah.
And that's something that everybody should be aware of, because if you show that, then whoever's judging you, right, they see that and it's like, oh, this person doesn't want it bad enough, whereas if you don't have it, but you're still like, I'm gonna do it, then that's something that I think will be a benefit to you.
Like for me, I didn't have it, but I was like, I ain't got it, but I got this.
Right.
That's better than I messed up, I'm defeated, I'm running out.
Right.
Like, okay, you didn't get it, but show me what you got.
Right.
It might be something that you do that's better than what they were expecting to see from you.
Right. Randy just said something really, really important, and I share this all the time with my people. Don't practice until you get it right. Practice until you can't get it wrong. That is so deep. Thank you for that, Randy. Yep, for sure. Man, so press play. That's awesome. After that, take us through your journey. What happened, with it? Is press play still going on right now?
Actually, press play is still going. They're on their like season 11 or 12. They've been good for a while. After press play, I started a dance studio because I was teaching at all the studios all around the area.
Mm-hmm.
And I started running the numbers and it didn't make sense anymore. So my business mind kicked in. I was like, well, if I have 30 students paying $90 a month and I'm getting $45 times 4, I'm doing it wrong. So I did the math, I figured it out, and I didn't know that I could get it. And I talked to Pepper Vaughn. If you don't know who Pepper is in SAC, then you need to learn who Pepper is if you're a dancer from SAC.
Right.
Pepper was like, you have to ask for what you're worth. And then on top of that, you have to know what you're worth. Really believe it. And I was like, oh. And he's like, how much you worth? And I froze. I couldn't even answer because I didn't know. And at the time, I was getting $25 an hour, thinking that was a lot. And then he was like, just try it. Ask for what you think you're worth and see what they say.
Yeah.
So my boy Dietrich said, just audition for So You Think You Can Dance.
Okay.
And the studio he was teaching at had like 12 dancers in it. And they asked me to take it over because he's leaving.
Okay. This is where, in Sacramento still?
Yeah, Sacramento, Roseville.
Okay.
So I go and I talk to Miss Lucy at the DG2. And she's like, will you take over the class for Dietrich? It's only 12 students, and I can give you $12 an hour. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
But I'll do it for 40% or for 50%. She was like, oh, we can't do 50%, but we can do 45.
Now, what is that compared to $12?
$12 an hour. Don't matter how many students you get in, you're getting $12 an hour.
Right. So 45% would equal to what?
So each student would pay close to like $70 a class, right? So if I had 12 students at $70 each, 45% of that is 45% of that.
That's a lot more than 12.
Yes.
So
and I was on my super hustle game, and this is when Facebook was still like letting you hustle. I must have got to work and was like, flyer. That 2 weeks after she gave me that opportunity, the summertime program started, which was I get to keep all the money I make.
Wow.
For 5 weeks.
Wow.
I had 72 dancers in there at the end of 5 weeks, and I think I made like 3,500 in five.
Ooh, good for you, brother.
And that showed me, oh, I'm tripping. I need to get my mind right.
Right.
And from that, she taxed me a little bit on it. I ain't gonna front. She hit me with that. Oh, you had the most people in your class, so your electric bill was $500. I was like, hold up, ain't no electric bill $500. And I was only there on Friday nights. But I was like, you know what, 35, I could take that cut. And I made the money, and then we split
Okay.
45%. And
Yeah.
the class just kept growing. I had 2 classes. I had to take the 3. Then I
Yeah.
had to take it to 4.
Yeah.
So I was stacking like my shoe game was ridiculous.
Man, I'm so glad you mentioned this because this is one of the major weaknesses that I think most dancers have. Which would you say when Pepper Vaughn told you, he asked you that good question, very, very important question. What is your worth? And a lot of times we kind of just take whatever, whatever they're going to pay me.
Yeah.
And because you're comparing to what you had before, which is nothing. So you're willing to take it. But what you got to really, really do is research and compare yourself to the others. Look at the market, right? You have to search it and look at the market, which is what you did, which is so important. So for any up and coming dancers who want to become teachers, know what you're worth. Do your marketing, right? You can't just go out and say, yeah, I'm worth $1 million. That's not going to fly. But you got to really do your research. So I'm really, really proud of you. And thank you for sharing that, bro.
Man, I appreciate that because, man, if it wasn't for Pepper, I'd be still at studios $20 an hour.
Right. You kind of reminded me of something I kind of want to share, but I feel like it might take too long. But I'm just going to give a quick gist of it. And this is with Gary. For those that don't know Gary Kendall, G1 Jabberwocky. Anyways, when he was teaching, again, he was getting a set pay, like whatever the hourly is. And that's basically what I was telling him. I was like, dude, there's a lot of people who want to take money from you, dude. I mean, not take that wants to take classes with you. So me and him, I'm just like, look, I'm gonna help you, dude. Let's do this. I know a bunch of people that want to take classes. We'll look for studio space, we'll rent it out, and it will just be, our business kind of thing. And from that, so when you did that, I'm like, yeah, that's it. You gotta know your market.
You know what's crazy? I teach in Truckee right now. I have a studio in Truckee.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole G-Fam movement up there of people that used to dance with Gary that are now
teaching. Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, that's crazy. And then there's like people in what is the place called over in the Bay?
Santa Cruz?
Not Santa Cruz, but closer to that the Rose, whatever it's called. Santa Rosa.
Oh, yeah. Joe.
Yeah, Joe Gray. And then I met a dude out in, I think he's in Arizona, not Arizona, but
Colorado?
Yes, Colorado.
Yeah.
Some of the dopest dancers I've ever met. And they were like, yo, you understand the music and you move like us. It's like, yeah, I used to train with Gary.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did he get to so many places?
Oh, yeah. He's Mr. International. Yeah. Mr. Worldwide. He's Mr. Worldwide before Mr. Worldwide. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. G has such a big influence, so man, that's a whole nother episode. That's a whole nother season. Everybody has G stories. So yeah, we're gonna have to do that. Yeah, Randy said we all family, we're all connected for sure, 100%. And I want to give a quick shout out to Marissa. Thank you for dropping in for sure. Yeah, Ryan Curran, not just Ryan, but David Bortnick out in Santa Cruz. His studio's blowing up. Jamie, I think he's in the East Bay somewhere right now. So he has his team. So everybody. With the long hair? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I met him on accident. I was like, bro, you're so dope. He's like, yeah, I used to train with Gary.
Yeah. The thing about Jamie is, man, he's so much like Gary. Dude, I got a call one time from him, and I thought it was Gary. The way he I was like, "What's up, G?" And he's like, "No, it's Jamie." I was like, "Man, you sound just like G."
That's dope.
Yeah. So, Man, that's cool, man. Every time you say something that reminds me of Gary, I just get this warm feeling, you know.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, yeah. Randy
I
knows that.
wish I got to spend more time with him. I think the only time I got like one-on-one time with him was when they were doing the show in San Diego where they all were wearing the blue right
Okay.
before they got on the show. And I went with them to buy the outfits or the
Okay.
mask because they ran out of masks. So we went to the little swap meet. And I was riding with him. He was just like telling me, just gaming me up, like, yo, when you enter the circle, you want to be able to enter and just do waves the whole round.
Yeah.
And if you want to enter the circle, just do grooves the whole round. And then just break it. And then just hits. And I was
Right.
like, you can do that?
Right. Yeah.
And like, I left with a better understanding of movement and approaches that you could have. Like, I wasn't just everything in one round. Like, yo, take your time. Show them what you can actually do. Like, diversify your styles.
Right.
So that to me, that stuck with me, and I carry a little bit of that everywhere I go. When I'm teaching, when I'm dancing, like I still am trying to have 31 flavors, like a style for every day of the month.
Right.
So,
I feel it, man. That's good, and I think that's how you actually grow. For anybody out there, and this is something that Skeet and I talked about too. Skeet Rabbit, you know, rest in peace. He mentioned exactly what Gary's telling you. Every round you go, keep it in that one style. It forces you to be creative in that style, you know. So for example, if you're waving, most of the time people will go from end to end, right to left, left to right, maybe head to toe, up and back. And once you do that a few times, you're like, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna go tutting. I'm gonna go to this style or that style. Okay, I'm gonna mix in all the stuff. But what happens if you're like, okay, I'm gonna spend a whole 2 minutes just waving? Now you're forced to be more creative.
yeah.
And this is the same for any style that you do. So yeah, it's a great great training technique. You know, great to make you creative.
Yeah.
So hey, having said that, now let's do this. You've been a student of so many great dancers, and also you are a teacher of so many great dancers as well. So let's kind of pick your brain and think about some of the best dance advice that you heard, whether you received them or you heard about it or you given them. What are some of the best ones that you could kind of lay down for us?
I think the best one most recently was finish your moves. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm 25 years in. What you mean finish my moves? And I looked at myself and I'm like, I'll go boom, 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 boom. But I'll never finish. I could have went here and did so much more in this area before moving to somewhere else, but I wasn't finishing. I was jumping everywhere.
Do you remember who told you that and like what circumstance that was?
It was 3 weeks ago, Super Dave.
Wow. That's awesome. That's
And
awesome.
then,
Yeah.
I think the one that I carry with me the most was B-Boy Nagin. I taught a workshop in Seattle, and he had taught right before me. And he was like, you know how Nagin is. He's like, that guy, he be going. He's like, I don't kick, I swing. And I don't practice at all. They were like, how do you dance without practicing? It's like, because I dance through life. If I want to flip while I'm walking down the street, I flip. And he flips. Like, while he's talking, I flip. If I want to slide, I slide. If I want to do this, and he's moving, and he's talking about the momentum of life and his body momentum moving with his momentum. And it was like, and he says, as long as you go with your momentum, you will excel.
Wow.
And I was like, that's dope. So
That's
when
dope.
you see him flip,
Yeah.
his flip doesn't come from nowhere. He's already swinging something, and then the flip pops out.
Yeah.
So he's learning. He learned how to flow his momentum physically to a level that's ridiculous, and now he's talking about transferring that into life, to where if you're going with the flow, you will never have a hard time.
Dang. That's dope. That's dope. Thanks for sharing that. Hey, real quick shout out to Sergio Funk. I see you, brother. And I saw Jay Mix. What's up, baby? But man, that was super sick, man. Thanks for sharing that. Now let's do this. Flip it now, okay? Of course, all the experience you had, you probably heard some really shitty advice out there too. So I don't know if you can think of the top of your head, but maybe think of one to share what with us that when you heard it, you're just like, nah, that's not cool. That's not good.
I got one.
All
We
right.
used to laugh about all the time. It's like, yo, it's a YouTube video. He's like, yo, I've been locking for 2 weeks. What I know. Boy, if you don't get off this YouTube, but the video had 100,000 views.
Wow.
I've been this is how he started the video. I've been locking for 2 weeks. Not really a locker, but I'm gonna teach you what I know. Yo, what is going on?
I never seen that video, but yeah, I'm kind of curious now.
And I don't think you want to see you. It's like it wasn't terribly bad, but you can't start off like that. Like,
right.
Invest the time, learn it real before you start trying to teach people.
Right.
Like, at least train it, or be like, yo, I want to train this, so this is what I'm working on. This is how I was taught the training. Now let's flip it. Feel me? Like,
that's so funny, dude. You know, I always think of this, and I don't want to say it's a terrible advice, but have you probably heard this a lot, right? When teachers, usually studio teachers, they'll tell their kids, just smile, right? Just smile. You know, oh, I'm so nervous, I can't do it. Oh, just smile. What do you think about that? Like when you hear that?
It's hard because I know the teacher is trying to cover up the fact that they don't got it.
Right.
A good example would be DG2 used to throw these super like extravagant shows, and the dancers be like, "I'm a 10-year dancer," and you're not dope. Like, you're not there. But the lights, the fanfare, the music, and everything is so dope that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So for them, just smile. But for me, I'm like, yo, you got. I used to tell everybody in my classes that there's a difference between substance and hype.
Mm-hmm.
You can have hype and everybody will love you, and it's all good until you're standing next to substance. So I would tell them, get the substance, because that hype of just smile ain't gonna work if you're standing next to somebody that got real skill.
Beautiful. Yep, that's it, man. Exactly. All right. Hey, let's do this. I'm gonna move to a different section. We call this or that. So you're basically going to choose one, right? You're choosing this or that. There's no wrong answer. And you could justify the answer if you like to, or you don't have to. All right.
This or that, right?
This or that. Yeah. Just like if you're voting. If you're judging. All right. Here we go. Text or phone call?
Phone call.
You shop online or shop in store?
In store.
Car or truck?
Car.
Toilet paper over or under?
Over.
Meat or veggie?
Veggie. I'm a vegetarian for 2 years now. Whoop.
Hey, I need to pick your brain on that. How difficult is that? Or is it difficult at all?
After the first month, the meat tastes bad.
Like any meat?
Like any meat. You know how I used to love like barbecue, like ribs that just fall off the bone type joints. After eating vegetables for a month, like real on like hearty vegetables that are like good for you and like the life and the nourishment, it tastes so nutrient rich that when you eat the meat, it just tastes like dead flesh.
Wow.
And your taste buds adjust to what you're eating. And now, like, I don't crave meat at all.
So you said 2 years?
Yep, 2 years.
That's impressive.
And my knees ain't all swollen up. My ankles ain't hurting. I move a lot faster. So I'm not the youngest guy anymore. So
yeah. So okay, that's cool. Cool. Air or water?
Air.
So this is more like, let's say when you're driving or if you're working out, you listen to music or podcasts?
Podcast. I want the knowledge.
Yeah, share with me though. What's the latest, or what's one of the latest podcasts that you listen to?
The latest one I listened to was "Be Water, My Friend" by Bruce Lee's daughter,
Ooh,
and it was just talking about his philosophies on life and on martial arts and just living a better
yeah,
life. But I listen to a lot of like podcasts on like Think and Grow Rich and
yes,
that, and just understanding the stuff that they never taught us in school.
yes,
So those podcasts are beautiful for people that want to get into like books that don't want to read, just want to listen. There's an app called Libby. It's a library app. It's basically your library card but digitized, and you can download and listen to any book or read any book you want for free from your
man.
local library.
That is so cool, man. Thank you for sharing that, because I've been doing that too when I'm driving, and I heard it somewhere that says, they call that the drive time university.
Yeah,
You're always learning stuff, and with you, I'm with you, man. I'm huge into personal development now. Getting into, of course, you got Tony Robbins, and you got all the Think and Grow Rich guys. So for sure, I'm happy you said that, man. Hopefully, everybody out there listening right now would take a.
did you get on that NLP stuff, that neuro linguistic programming?
Oh man, you know what? Here's the thing. I think it was probably 15 years ago that I heard about it.
Ah,
And this is a sidetrack right now. Oh, so one of my friend, actually, he was a student at first, and then he became a friend, and he told me about NLP, and I was like, "What's NLP?" So he demonstrated a little bit, like how he used it to, um, to convey a message or something like that, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is very interesting." It was very, very cool. So I studied a little bit. I wish I practiced some more. I wish there's more people around me. So it's a lot easier when you have a group of people that do it together. So for me, it was a little bit harder for me to be really self disciplined to really really get into it. But I understand the power of it. Um, Last time I saw, what's that one British guy? I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. He was a British guy. He uses NLP, and he kind of mixed that with magic. Um,
I think I've seen a couple of his videos, but I don't know his name.
I think he's bald headed now. Um, Anyways, escapes me. He did this one thing where he went. So he's from England, right?
Right.
So he came to the U.S. and he had just white piece of paper, okay, and it's the size of U.S. dollar bill. So he says he's going to use his NLP ability to go into store and buy and pay using this white sheet of paper. And he did. The fool went into a like a jewelry store. He got these diamond rings and stuff. And he was like, "Oh, how much is it?" And he's like, "Oh, it's like $5,000." He's like, "Oh, okay, all right. Well, here's 5,000." And you see him handing the paper, and the dude just took it. He's like, "All right, all good." And he took off. So powerful.
Wow.
I got to look it up, and I'll
Yeah,
share that
see
with you.
that link. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah, yeah. Of course, I think at the end he went back and he returned it, but just super powerful. All right. Okay. Anyways, let's move forward. Blue or red?
My favorite color is blue, but I'm going with red.
All
See the
right.
background.
All right. Yeah. Facebook or Instagram?
TikTok.
TikTok now.
Yeah. Because Facebook is Instagram, so it's the same.
Okay. Pancake or waffle?
Waffles.
NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
To tell you the truth, I never liked either one.
Iced coffee or hot coffee?
Iced.
Taco or burrito?
Burrito.
Does Sacramento have good burrito joints?
Actually, there's a taco place called Taqueria Jalisco's.
Mm-hmm.
The best tacos I've had so far.
All right. Well, next time I'm up there, man, I'm gonna have to ask you to take me there.
Yes, indeed. I'll happily take you.
All right. Strength or flexibility?
I think flexibility, because with flexibility you get strength.
Ooh, nice. Motorcycle or bicycle?
I'm gonna say bicycle because I want to live long.
I feel you. Money or free time?
Free time.
Free time. Horror or comedy?
Comedy.
What's the right now? Who's your favorite comedian?
Hands down, Dave Chappelle.
Ooh,
Too much knowledge in a funny form.
Right, right. Yeah, that's almost like all-time status right there, though.
Yeah, like who's really doing it like that? It's too much knowledge.
Right.
In a form that is so digestible that it's just like it goes straight in.
Yeah.
So I've been studying him a lot.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely agree with you there. All right, cardio or weights?
Because I'm a dancer, I'm gonna have to say cardio.
Cardio. Jackson 5 or New Edition?
Jackson 5.
Jackson 5. All right, here's the thing. This is what I talked about with Jeff too. Okay, let's check this. Name all the members of Jackson 5.
You can't. I got Tito, Michael, and Latoya.
Name all the members of New Edition.
It's not fair. They made it into a song, so you just sing it. Ronnie, Ricky, and Mike. So it's like, yeah, Ralph Trasman.
Right, right. So I think here's the thing, right? Of course, I think people pick Jackson 5. Of course, it's they started. They're basically one of the first boy band, not the first, but because there's Temptations, all those. But of course, you have Michael. He's such a big name, so it's really easy for us to pick Jackson 5. But as a group, I think New Edition, again, this is me personally. I think New Edition, every member, you kind of know them, and every member is almost just as popular. I mean, of course, there's some more, but if we're looking at the Jacksons, you got Tito, Jermaine, Michael. Is there a Jackie? I think there's a Jackie. So I don't even know who the fifth one is. So if anybody else doesn't know, you could drop it in. So.
But my thing is, the Jackson 5 was a different type. They were playing the instruments too. So New Edition was all singing, and with the producer killing it. They were actually on the instruments rocking. I'm like, they
Good
might
point.
not say, like, what band do you, or say Usher. Do you know any of his band members?
No.
That's kind of why Jackson 5, the lead singer got the push. Everybody else was just a part of the band.
Got you. That's good. All right. Let's move forward. Day or night?
I'm going to have to go with the day because I like the sunshine, but all the cool stuff happens at night.
There you go. All right. Uber or Lyft?
I work for Lyft, so I'm going Uber. Lyft sucks.
Oh, is that right? Is Uber better though?
No. But Uber is better to the employees.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, or at least from what I heard. I just know Lyft's first month was amazing. And after that, it was like...
just downhill, huh?
Yeah, it was like, basically, I'm driving for 12 hours to make $100.
Dang.
Or not 12, but around SAC, it was like a 2-minute ride, 2-minute ride, 2-minute ride. So it was just very tedious to get to the numbers that we should be getting to.
Right. All right. Soup or sandwich?
Sandwich.
Dine in or delivery?
Dine in.
Hey, Sacramento, you could dine in right now or no?
Nope. But there's a lot of restaurants right now that are just like, we don't care. There's tables set out here. You can't eat here.
Yeah.
Here's your food to go.
Right.
And then they let you eat there.
Right. All right. Basketball or football?
Depends. Am I playing it or am I watching it?
All right. Let's say if you're playing it.
Basketball.
If you're watching?
Raiders,
huh? Okay. All right. Rhythm or balance?
That's hard.
It is hard, right?
When you say balance, what do you mean? Like balance
Yeah,
or
yeah. However you want to mean it. Maybe you could justify like, let's do this. Why would you choose rhythm then?
um because that's the heartbeat of every song.
Okay. Why
But
would you choose balance?
because balance for me could be the between being in rhythm or musicality.
Okay.
So because you ride the rhythm and then you jump off into the musical aspect and you ride the rhythm. So it's like balance.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, when I ask this question, of course, almost everybody here we're dancers, so we immediately think dance.
Yeah.
But what about this? Let's be a little bit philosophical since we all were Bruce Lee fans.
Mm.
How about in life, rhythm of life and balance of life?
Mm. I feel like in that aspect, I would go with the rhythm because if, as long as you follow the rhythm, everything will balance itself.
Mm, mm, okay. I was just explaining to this with my son the other day, the balance, the yin and yang, right? So oftentimes we get too emotional, either too
Uh,
excited here or too sad here, whatever. And the balance, that's where it's at. So a lot of times when you're too excited, you get overconfident or something like that, right? So what happened was this: I think he did something good, for his brother or something. So then he got really happy, right? So then he's like, all right, yeah, let's play. So they're playing video games together, and then because I don't know, maybe because he was too happy, he got overconfident and he started, screaming at his brother. So I see that happen all the time. So this is where I kind of, mentioned to him like, hey, there's balance in life too. A lot, and you hear that with a lot of the great ones when they play ball too, right? They say, hey, yeah, you have such a high from winning overtime game, whatever, and oftentimes you get too much into that. The next game, it's all the way it's on the other end. So oftentimes I hear like Stephen Curry and all of them say, we got to stay balanced. So that's kind of where I'm at with that one.
that's I like that. I actually like that a lot better. Trying to make me switch my answer. Balance.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just trying to think, the rhythm in life, right? The rhythm in life is the rhythm. It's almost like the seasons.
Yeah.
There's every year you have 4 seasons, you have your ups and downs, and that kind of ties in with what balance is, right? You have your ups and downs, your rhythm, right? You have
Yeah.
your exciting times, you have your lower time, so
Well, for
they're
me,
all
I'm trying to learn how to enjoy every element of life. Like, yo, it's not the greatest right now, but I'm still alive. I'm happy. I got joy. Let's go.
right. And also, you always hear this a lot, right? Without sadness, you really can't compare it to the happiness.
Yeah.
So in a sense, wherever state that you're at right now, be content with it, be happy with it, because it's part of life. It's all part of life. Okay.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
moving forward, iOS or Android?
That's hard because I have both.
Mm-hmm.
I just got the new iPhone, and it's just like the old iPhone.
So what is that? The 12?
Yes,
So
12.
it's just like the 11.
I had the 11, now I have the 12, and it's like the only thing difference is the camera has HDR already turned on.
Okay.
So it's something that the 11 can do, but it's already turned on this one.
Yeah, man. So did you have Android before?
I still have Android too,
Oh,
Samsung,
okay. Okay.
but it's the Android is free. Like as a musician, I want to be able to say, "Hey, check this song out," and send it to my friends and let them listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
iPhone, I'm not really allowed to do that
Mm-hmm.
easily. Or once it's in iTunes, it's locked into iTunes. On the Samsung, I could download a song that you send me and add it straight to a playlist and be listening to it.
Mm.
I have to jump through too many hoops to do it on iTunes.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, real quick shout out to K Fresh for thanks for jumping in.
Okay, Fresh.
I think I saw I didn't mention earlier. I think Fred Video Rad, what's up, baby? Thanks for jumping in
Hey.
as well. All right. Yeah, I started off with iOS, right? I think it was the original iPhone, had that for a while, and I was just so sick and tired of them slowing it down purposely every time you had to, upgrade to the new iOS. So
Yeah.
I got fed up, man. So I went over to Android. But of course, I'm still stuck back with iOS because I got the iMacs and I also got the MacBooks. So
Well,
yeah, I have both as well. So
to give the credit to Apple, they have AirDrop.
yeah, yeah.
That's to me like I should take a video in class and be like, anybody want it?
Mm,
And I can send it to everybody in the class that has an iPhone.
right,
The
right.
crazy part is I have a student that built an app that works for Android for iMessage and whatever it's called, the AirDrop.
Oh, so you could AirDrop to
He
both.
built the app, is working on his phone. Apple won't let him share it.
Okay.
So and he did that a good 6 years ago.
Wow.
But that if that came out on Android, you wouldn't need an iPhone anymore.
Right.
So it is what it is.
I wonder if he's a millionaire now.
Nope, they wouldn't let him release it, so he kind of abandoned creating it.
Man,
Too many patents.
that sucks. All right, let's move on. Mayo or mustard?
I'm gonna go with honey mustard.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite too. Salsa or bachata?
Oh, you trying to bring sexy back?
Oh yeah, you got to get the sexy in.
I'm gonna say bachata because I can't do salsa.
Okay.
I need to learn. I need some classes.
Man, I every time I think of this, I also think of Skeeter Rabbit because salsa is one of his favorite too. So
That's tight.
yeah. All right, peanut butter or Nutella?
Peanut butter. Never been a fan of Nutella.
All right, here we go. Tupac or Biggie?
I'm gonna go with Biggie because I'm a lyric head, but Tupac definitely had more influence when it came to speaking on matters that were like public issues. So
Yeah. All right. Very good. Breaking or Beat Street?
ooh. Why would you do this? That's,
Now, which one did you see first?
I
Do you remember?
saw Breaking first
Okay.
because I'm on the West Coast.
Okay.
But I also saw Beach Street, and I learned that the Robert dude, Lee, was my cousin.
Oh.
So, or my uncle was like, "Yeah, that's your cousin in New York. We've never really met him, but that's your cousin." I'm like, "What?"
Damn.
So that's hard.
Yeah.
I'll give it up for the West Coast, and I'll go with Breaking.
All right.
Just because there was way more popping in that one.
Right. Now, this is an extension to this one. How about Breaking versus Breaking 2?
Breaking 2 is trash. Like the only part I liked in Breaking 2 is when he was going up the wall.
Oh, wait, is that 2? You mean when the house flipped around?
Yeah, when the house is flipping.
Okay.
That was 2, right?
I think so.
Because I don't think 3 came out yet.
All right. Yeah. I mean, for me, obviously my favorite part is, when Taco and Pete did their thing. And and 2, Pete wasn't there. Taco barely did anything, I don't think.
In so it's like 2 was like, let's try and ride this franchise out.
Right.
Versus like, let's make a dope. There was so many dope elements in Breaking that it was like the handicap dude. He was like, this is a real dancer. Dude was out there getting it. He's got no legs, but look at his face. Like, yo.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I was just talking about this with Jeff the other day too, and I was just mentioning when they came out with the nunchucks, I was just like, get out of here, dude. Forget that.
It got too corny.
It was way corny. But all right, let's move forward. Sammy Davis Jr. or the Nicholas Brothers?
Ooh. That's hard.
Yeah.
I was a real fan of Tap for a long time, so I'm gonna go with Sammy Davis Jr. But Nicholas Brothers is fire. Like that's you doing these hard ones now. You start off with the easy stuff. I see what you did.
Right. It is tough, man. It is tough. I mean, you know, you're comparing legends to legends, right?
Yeah.
There's so many aspects to these guys too. I keep mentioning there's a documentary for Sammy Davis Jr. out there. I believe it's Netflix or something like that. So I highly recommend everybody go check it out. Of course, it's not just his dancing, not just his talent. Just the talent alone, he did more than just tap, right? And he was doing
Yeah.
gunslinging and he was singing and all that stuff. Um, and the social inequality that they all face is just incredible. So I highly recommend anybody who is a fan of any sort of dance study these. But
Yeah.
all right, let's move forward. Passenger or driver?
Ooh. Um, if somebody drives well, I'd rather be the passenger so I can make beats while I'm riding.
Ooh, yeah, yeah. Do you bring a machine
I
when you
used to carry a bunch of equipment everywhere I went,
uh-huh.
and I challenged myself to be able to make beats anywhere because I
Mm,
really want to like live remotely
yeah.
eventually. So I was challenging myself to make beats in coffee shops, and
Dude.
bro, I set up in a coffee shop and with Ableton, you can instead of having to bring a keyboard, you
Yeah.
can use your actual keyboard to play the keys. And I started practicing on that, and bruh, I can create anywhere right now.
That's sick, too. You know, you just said something that trigger excitement in me when you say, you know, work remotely or travel. That has always been a dream, right? You know, to be able to have a lifestyle where you can travel anywhere
Yep.
and produce, whether it's, you know, producing beats or produce that allows you to generate income.
Yeah.
So that would be phenomenal, man. I hope one day to be there with you so that we could travel the world, maybe teach dance and, you know,
Have fun
perform.
and make beats and rap and just be a
Yeah.
part of the elements. The culture is so dope
Yeah.
that it's able to feed everybody. But I think what happened a lot is the culture has been split up.
Mm.
And when we were growing up, the culture was together every time you seen it.
Yeah.
So now, like the DJs stay in the clubs doing club music. They're
Mm-hmm.
not even being DJs anymore. They just play whatever's hot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the b boys stay with the b boys. The poppers stay with the poppers. And the graffiti artists, they're very hard to find.
Yeah.
And the MCs are somewhere in a studio trying to get big.
Right. Right.
So I think when those four elements come back together, it's going to be. I've experienced it recently where the MCs are here, the DJs here, the B boys is rocking, the dancers is getting down, and then the only element that was missing was the graffiti, and it was already more powerful.
Mm.
So
Yep. All right. Moving forward. Funny or smart?
I say smart because if you're smart, you'll be funny too.
Okay. Now, let me see if the answer would be the same. So let's say, you
You're
know,
right.
let's say you're looking for a girl, right? What do you
Mm-hmm.
look for in a girl?
Smart.
Smart as well.
Can't be with a dummy. But most funny people are smart enough to be funny
That's
because it
true.
takes a level of intelligence to be like extremely funny because you
Right.
got to know timing. You got to be aware of the awareness of the people you're telling the joke to.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah, we're talking about real funny and not like cheesy funny, right?
yeah, like not like I trip and feel funny.
Right. Got you. I agree, man. I agree. Prince or Michael?
Ah, I'm gonna go with Michael because Prince had some hits, but Michael Jackson just made me move. Like
Mm-hmm.
just I even today, like or last night, I was doing Soul Train Sunday and I threw Michael Jackson on.
Mm-hmm.
The whole room was like right in, like no pause, no hesitation, and danced the whole song.
Mm.
So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Prince will make you groove
Yeah.
and feel something, but Michael will make you move.
Good answer.
So
Good answer. All right. Dog or cat?
dog, easy. I don't like cats that much.
Yeah. I'm actually allergic to cats.
Lucky you.
Yeah, man, we did it, dude. That was
This
that
or
was great,
that.
dude. This or that, you killed it, brother. Yo, thank you for your time, man. This is fun and also very educational for me because you know, getting to know your history and and all the stuff that you're doing, of course, you know, sharing it with the community, your community, and you're I know you're spreading the community everywhere you go. So I really appreciate that too, man. I hope definitely one day, real soon, we'll get together and spread it together.
Hey, I'm looking forward to it. You know, I got to learn some more. So, who better to teach me?
Well, I appreciate that, man. Hey, real quick, how can people get a hold of you? Is it cool if I share your Instagram so anybody that wants to follow you or get a hold of you?
Yep.
This is a good.
Instagram is nobody916. So, that's a good way to get a hold of me. Actually, it's a great way to get a hold of me. But on the flip side, TikTok is the spot, yo, because you know
Okay,
TikTok
what's
is
your
going up.
what's your TikTok? Is it
Same thing, nobody916.
Nobody 916 right here? You got a lot of really cool stuff on your Instagram. I'm just gonna scroll through it real quick for everybody that's watching.
Yeah, so
Oh, right there, ICG right there.
yeah, for real, that's crazy. If you've been watching, or if for the people just getting on, I'm doing this campaign where I'm doing 40 songs in 40 days. I started January 1st. So
Mm.
right now there's 11 songs out on streaming services, and every day for this month you'll see a new song pop up.
On
So
Instagram.
on Instagram, on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever else you stream place music, like what is that thing? YouTube, whatever. Like
Nice. So what do they search for? Nobody 916?
just nobody.
Okay.
There's some
Okay.
weird nobody that's from Thailand or
Okay.
somewhere. That's not me.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, everybody, let's make sure we spelled it correctly. Nobody, that's with a K. Okay.
Like
No, as in
no,
know yourself. Nobody. Know your own body.
that's
And
yeah. That actually got that name from Joe.
mm,
So
mm,
minimizing the time between thought and action, Bruce Lee. And
yeah.
I want to know my body so that when I hear a beat, it just reacts. And I'm
Nice.
gonna call
Nice.
myself nobody. And Joe was like, no, nobody. And I was like, so
Dude, that's sick. Yeah, yeah. That's another, you know, gold. That's another knowledge gem right there. You know, this is exactly why I want to do this interview, right? So these little nuggets, these little nuances, how you know these were created and stuff like that. It's
yeah.
to me, it's gold, and I'm glad that we got to share it. I'm glad those that were able to join us continue to join us. For anybody else there, if you're watching right now or if you're watching on YouTube, I'm gonna have this on Spotify as well as Google Podcast.
Hey,
So we'll be able to listen to it. If you want to skip all the ums and
uh,
stuff, just play it at twice the speed so you can hear
that's
it.
the secret for people listening to podcasts. Twice the speed, you get the knowledge quick.
quick, you get it. You get two for the price of one. That's right there. Bro, thank you again, man. I had a blast learning from you, and for sure I got to bring you back so we could chat some more, you know,
Yes,
get
indeed.
some more knowledge out
I
there.
appreciate you, and I'm just thankful to be a part of what's going on, and I want to see the future be doper for everybody.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, guys. For everybody that's joining us, thank you again. We're gonna be back with another interview in a few more days. But man, this is my brother Brandon Knowbody Greathouse. I appreciate your time,
Yes,
everybody. One love.
one love.